All right, a lot of hopefully indoor events tomorrow because we're pretty aware at this point that the forecast doesn't look great.
It does not.
I'll be with a few hundred people tomorrow afternoon, very excited. The Governor's Awards for Service and Volunteerism. It's an annual event and it's going on since, I believe, 87, recognizing just outstanding volunteers in our state. And some of them are actually broken up into categories where there's a committee that decides who should be recognized for individual awards, and then there's categories for people who just did a certain number of volunteer hours. And, you know, we don't talk about volunteers enough, but they are kind of like the backbone of so many of these organizations that are often in the news.
Yeah, it's a timely end to Volunteer Week.
Yes, wrap up all of the good things that so many of you do. So looking forward to it. If you're joining us there tomorrow afternoon in Augusta, looking forward to being there with you.
And you get to meet this guy, which is always it's nice.
That guy, you're coming? Is that what you said? Oh, you meant this guy.
You don't want that.
Okay.
You know I would sit in the front and just stare at
Heckle.
you. I don't,
arms crossed.
Yes, like that joke didn't land. Try a different one. That's hard though. We've all done these, and some are harder than others, and you have to like feel the crowd out and
see who's there.
It's really difficult to go from talking to a camera that's not giving you a stare.
Right. Yeah. You're not looking at anybody in the eye.
Yes. Right.
That is the biggest challenge about doing these events.
So give him love. Give him love tomorrow.
I just stare at one person to make them really uncomfortable. One time I was asked to do an MC event and they didn't mention that it was an auction and they didn't have an auctioneer. That was the hardest one I've ever done. And it was like, and they fixed it. The next year they brought an auctioneer and they had brought me back. But the first thing for auction was a safari to South Africa. And I was like, start the bidding at $7,000. It wasn't like I was auctioning off like shoes or anything. It was crazy. Anyways, 65 in Portland for a high today, 70 in Sanford. We just talked about, as I was on the weather deck, just started to see some of those showers come down. The clouds preceded it, right? And now the clouds are just about into and through Bangor. North of there still sunny, but everyone's going to cloud up over the next couple of hours. Radar showing a lot of returns over southern Maine, but for the first hour and a half of this, it wasn't actually hitting the ground. It wasn't until recently that we started to see these showers actually hit the ground, Portland and down into parts of York County as well. This round of showers is pretty light tonight, so if you're headed out, you know, just be aware we could see a sprinkle. I don't think there's anything all that heavy though as these lift off to the north and east. This is the warm front coming through. So this is 9 o'clock tonight, just about in Waterville, and then Bangor about 10 o'clock. And by 1, 2 in the morning, it'll be just south of Millinocket and eventually into Aroostook County. A little bit of a break in there. Tomorrow morning, down East Maine, northern Maine, probably not raining initially. A lot of us, though, very quickly over to the rain. And, you know, there are very few days that are truly washout, meaning it's raining all day. But this is close to a washout. It's going to be raining pretty hard through the late morning hours, through the middle of the day, into the afternoon, till about sunset, and then it probably breaks up a little bit around sunset, but there's still scattered showers behind it, so it's as close as you can come to a full washout in most cases. And then that low hangs around on Sunday, and so it's not as rainy Sunday, but there's still some showers. It's breezy and raw. I mean, look at these temperatures in the 40s. In the middle of the day, this time of the year is quite cool, and likely in the 30s in the mountains, where they might see a little bit of a mix over to snow on the back end just to close out their season. They're pretty much done closing up this weekend. Might end with a couple of flurries there. Most of us, though, we're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain. And again, the heaviest stuff looks like it's tomorrow midday into the afternoon and maybe early evening. Temperature trend here, cool over the weekend because of that. Probably in the 70s. I'm not sure about 74, but we'll be in the low 70s in a lot of spots here Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll see what happens at the end of the week. Probably cool back down. And sunny, though. So we get a lot of sun next week, even though we didn't get a lot over the weekend. Overall, I think it's a good pattern to be in. By the way, the discrepancy on Tuesday is inland versus coast. I think the coast probably sees a sea breeze, so I put them at 65. Inland could easily be in the mid-70s, so it'll just be one of those situations. And that's how it goes through a lot of spring, right? It's like, you know, Sanford is 10 or 15 degrees warmer than parts of the coast. That happens for a long time.
You don't have to go far.
No.
Feel the change.
And then in the middle of summer, that equalizes and you're happy to be
by the water.
Yeah, it's like there's like this weird thing that happens spring to summer there. Yeah.
All right, Keith, thank you.